Welcome to the next episode in the truck camper build. There he is. In this episode, you're gonna see paint finally get on the camper, and we picked the most perfect day. The humidity of, I don't know, high, which if you remember, I'll link it. We picked a very humid day last summer to paint the interior, so we have this trend going. You know, the right thing to do would be to wait until tomorrow when it's less humid, but we're painting it today. Walking into the camper area, we have everything taped up as you saw in the prep video. The cats destroyed the plastic. What are they doing? They couldn't just rip one hole, they had to rip 3 holes. Animals. Everything's ready. I hung that nice dirty snot rag right there so that I wouldn't forget to tape the window. So people are probably wondering, what am I painting this thing with, right? Here's the deal. This thing right here, is it a house or is it a vehicle? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But what I can tell you is it's kind of in between. And if you do any research on painting campers with aluminum, any camper, but especially with aluminum siding, you will get anything from the cheapest latex paint or rolling her on all the way to high-end automotive paint. When you look at the prices of painting a vehicle, especially of this size, you're talking thousands of dollars, okay? That's the way it is. So there's a spectrum, and you can go in between. You can spray it with Rust-Oleum. You know, you can buy gallons of Rust-Oleum, spray that, which is oil-based. There's a lot of different options. I ended up going with latex, acrylic. It's exterior. It's water-based latex acrylic, and I'm gonna spray it on with this cheapo sprayer here. All right, I went with that because of cost mainly, so I didn't go and get the cheapest paint I could find. I did buck up and go with Sherwin-Williams. I went with a high quality paint for what it is. Okay, this isn't automotive paint. You got a good look at what you're seeing here, you got the idea. This would be the primer, this is the white. The plan is to use the primer. As you saw, I only have a quart of the primer, and that is because I'm going to only use the primer on the bare aluminum surfaces or anything that's kind of not the best surface, like that sticker, stuff like that. All the corners are going to get primed, but like for example, down here I had to scuff this down to bare aluminum. So that I'll just spot prime that little area. Then the second coat is going to be all white. Now all this area is all scuffed from you see in previous videos. Everything's scuffed. This is just going to get white. I'm thinking about this just by like painting a house, a siding of a house. Now I understand this house is going to be in an earthquake all the time. I get that. But we're going to see how it lasts. Don't take this as a how-to video. This is just how I did it. Comment or question it in 3 years from now and see how well it holds up. All of this paint cost me $250, okay? It's 2 gallons of white, 3 quarts for the colors, and 1 quart for primer. That is pennies compared to automotive paint. If it lasts 5 years, it lasts 5 years. Paint it again, I guess. So yeah, that's the plan. Prime the bare areas here, all that stuff. Then spray the entire thing with white, 2 coats of white, and then I'm gonna come back and brush the individual colors. So this is kind of prep portion of it, but it has to be done the day of paint. And what I'm gonna do now is wipe down all the painted surfaces with alcohol. I'm gonna use these blue towels here. This is denatured alcohol. Use these blue towels, wipe it down with a nice one that's wet with alcohol, and then I follow up with a more dry one to kind of get the dirt off. So I will spend the entire time doing that real quick. I think it's ready to go. We're just gonna paint.
I don't think that's gonna work.
So here's the deal. That paint sprayer they had me thin the paint out so much according to the instructions, but it was so bad the runs were terrible. It was almost, you pretty much couldn't paint it. So all these runs, since it's just the primer, I'm just, you know, doing what you're supposed to do when you paint things. You just rub it in. And I know if you spray it thicker, it will solve the problem, but if the gun gets clogged the whole time, you have a different problem. I don't even want it on the video, but it's gotta be, it's part of it. It's part of it. It almost makes me want to just roll it. Got it up to 80 degrees, Fahrenheit that is, and you saw Celsius for all the people, the rest of the world that use Celsius. All the primer is dry. We're gonna try something different here. I did 3 parts paint, 1 part water. I'm gonna do a 5-to-1 ratio. I looked it up on some of the reviews. Someone said that they did that with acrylic or with latex paint. So we're gonna try that with the top coat and see if that doesn't work, then I might just roll it. There's your top coat. So this is what we got for the first coat. There's definitely some runs, but I have the door closed right now with the heater on so that it dries faster because it's so humid out. And I opened the door in the middle of it just to get to the front so I could spray the front and a little bit underneath that I can't get to. And it was literally downpouring. Downpouring during that time. So it was, the wind was coming in and there was like rain raining on the camper as I was spraying it. So you know what? Whatever. It is the next day, and it is, of course, raining. It's the perfect day for painting. Second coat has dried. It looks decent. Certainly not perfect. There are runs everywhere. All things considered, I'm happy with it. Or after using the Avanti paint sprayer, I would use it again. But here's the thing, you learn as you do, and no matter how many reviews you read and tips and whatever, you still don't actually know or learn how to do something until you do it. I learned the tricks of how to use this paint sprayer for what I was using it for. Each coat I got better, which is a good thing because your final coat you want it to be the best. So what I learned is for latex paint, don't follow the, well, at least the latex paint I used, right? Don't follow the cup 50 seconds thing. What I found was a 5-to-1 ratio, 5 parts paint, 1 part water was the best. It's a little thicker, so therefore it doesn't cause as many runs. You'll still get runs if you're not careful, but it made the world of a difference. The thickest paint you could possibly spray is the best situation. And also to keep it very clean, so in between every coat, every time you stop for 10 minutes, you gotta take the whole tip apart here and clean that out and get that completely ready for the next time. So you can't tell anymore, but this is a color, this is a color, and then this is a color. We gotta paint the stripes. So they're each individual pieces of aluminum, and then I just taped the top one so that we don't mark any of the what is going to stay white. I forgot the battery ventilation exhaust hole that has to go through the camper because when you put all the siding on, it covers up everything, and that wasn't there from original. So we have to drill this out after we paint the white, before we paint the colors. Is it through?
No.
Through?
No.
It's not through.
Now it is.
So now we have our pilot. Just trying to be careful as I could. That definitely doesn't work as well. But you know what? It's not too bad.
Ooh. Beautiful mustard color.
Come on. Come on, Sherman. Come on. Good boy. Oh, look at the kittens. Oh, look at the kittens. Oh. Yeah. How's that sun? Huh? Huh?
Whew. Crisp. Sherman, what do you think?
What paint, Sherman? It is complete. The paint is done. It's dry. We got one coat of primer in certain areas, and then 2 coats of white, and then 2 coats of all the stripes for the colors. It's done. The primer and the white was sprayed, and all of the colors were brushed, hand brushed, as you saw. Got the door painted with the trim and the access panels all painted up. That's gonna do it for this episode of the truck camper build. Next episode, we're gonna get stuff ready. As you can tell, some of the stuff, sneak peek, you already know is on there. We're gonna keep going with the exterior appliances and all the things I gotta get bolted back into the camper. So stay tuned.